Hey, this is Shooter Jennings, and You guys have submitted your Ask Anything questions for me, and I am now going to answer them. I can't guarantee I'm going to give you the answer that you want, but I'll give you the truth. That's for sure. Um, I am broadcasting from New York City. We just did David Letterman earlier today at 3 in the morning. We are doing Imus, and then after that, The View the next day. It's a pretty busy week, and then we play the Gramercy Theater this upcoming Thursday night in New York. Tomorrow night for you watching this. All right, I'll just jump in and get this started. I got the questions right here. Thanks to all the people who asked these questions. They're great questions, and I hope that you're happy with the answers I give you. Brittany from Philadelphia asked, how much do your bandmates help define the sound of your record? Well, I'd say that bandmates, the bands that I've played with over the time have absolutely defined the sound of the record that I've been doing. From the 357s on the first record, second record, and third record to the Waylon Forever record we did, and then their counterpart Hierophant on the Black Ribbons record, as well as with the new record in the Triple Crown, a different band. And as you can tell from the band, from the sound of the records, it's pretty different. You know, when I go in to write a song, I usually have an idea in mind of how everything's going to sound. I'm not a guy. Some artists rely on their band to write the music or to arrange the songs. And I'm pretty involved. I'm really involved all the way around when it comes to arrangements and things like that, because that's kind of the music side of things is kind of how I first got into things before I started writing lyrics. So it's pretty important. But the bands, it's important to me to be involved. But the bands that I play with really define what is the dynamics of the music. And in the case of like the Triple Crown versus the 357s, the one thing that I've noticed, the 357s was really an amped up country band, a rock and roll band playing country music kind of. And that was kind of our sound. And so when I write songs with a band, I kind of write songs to the band in a way, because I kind of know the dynamics of a band, especially after playing with them for a long time, and know how to kind of get the most out of the drummer or the bass player and things like that. And at the same time, it's kind of becomes family in a way. You kind of become used to it, and then that's kind of the groove you get into. And with the Triple Crown, this was a new experience. So I went in writing songs and demoing them up all separately. And after I got done with the songs being demoed up, brought them to the band, and we kind of built it around that. But these guys, all incredible players, had such great ideas. John Graboff, the steel player, has fantastic ideas that helped really bring the arrangements to life. And also, to be honest with you, even beyond that, uh, the magic that happens in the studio kind of creates what happens. But, you know, anytime you work with a band, the most important thing to do is to really learn the band and give them their space to do what they do, because it's going to bring out and accentuate your music in a different way. If I did an album with a Latin band, it's definitely going to sound like a more Latin themed album. You know what I mean? So it definitely influences it. Emily from Australia asks, what upsets you the most about the current state of country music radio? The thing that upsets me the most is how constricting they are about allowing stuff that's different and new a chance. I feel like with even pop, hip hop, rap, especially rap and rock, if you're new and fresh and you got new ideas, you kind of do get a shot. With country, you have to really, really, really work at kind of breaking through these massive walls that they put up. And the programmers and stuff, the way the system works is they have like 10 songs in the radio. If you're not part of the Nashville songwriting, producing label system and going by and playing by the rules, they are interconnected with radio. So it's a very tough game. So I think the thing that upsets me the most is how hard it is for someone who really doesn't have a connections, but it has great songs, to actually get their music on the radio. All right, next is Allison from Detroit, Michigan. What is behind the names of your previous bands, Stargun and the 357s? Well, guns, I guess. And I think it's kind of subliminal. I'm not trying to make a pun on my name, but I don't know. Stargun was a mixture between like Ziggy Stardust and Love Gun by Kiss, because at the time I was into some old rock stuff, and I was kind of throwing around different mixtures of names, and that kind of came together. 357s was a little more obvious. I was sitting around with Leroy Powell at the time and kind of throwing out names, and actually my girl was there, Dre, and she kind of came up with 357s, and it kind of stuck. I liked it though, But there's another great band called 357 String Band, and in all honesty, if you haven't checked them out, you should check them out. I mean, I'm honored to be in the same league name-wise as there. Katie from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They broke up, by the way. That's a bummer. 357 String Band is a fantastic band. Katie from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Have you wanted to take back something you said to a contestant on the show? Not sure what show Katie's talking about. Think that it might be meant for someone else in another Ask Anything deal. But if I was the game show host, or, I mean, I don't even understand how that would even be aren't those things scripted? Next one. Jamey from Evansville, Indiana. Do you think living in LA and experiencing that scene helped you evolve as an artist? I think that everywhere I've moved and all the life experiences that I've lived through have helped me evolve as an artist. I think that whether you move to LA or you move to Peoria, Illinois, either way the experience is going to help you evolve as an artist. I think LA is cool because when I was young, I thought I was moving to a glorious rock and roll paradise, and got there and realized it wasn't quite. It was really not that many good bands there, and the history had kind of passed. But I think definitely there's not really a scene there. There's not really a country scene. There's some Graham Parsons-y kind of scenes and things, pockets that some people might murder me for saying this, but I didn't really find a scene that I really felt connected to. But I think my life experience of being there, as well as being in New York, has really shaped who I am as an artist and a person outside of the music. Robbie from Missoula, Montana. Love Missoula, by the way. What is your favorite track you've ever written? That's a tough one. Born Again, off the new record Family Man, is one of my favorite songs I've ever written. As is Wake Up off Black Ribbons. I mean, Black Ribbons is a record, is something that really is a paramount achievement for me personally. But as for like just a simple songwriting song, I think Born Again might be my favorite one. Let's see. Tracy from Wilkes Barre, Pennsylvania. Who are your closest friends in the music biz? I mean, I have a lot of great friends. I wouldn't necessarily consider them. I mean, shoot, I have a lot of friends in music, if that's what you mean. This last year with GiveMeMyXXX.com, the site we set up to try and expose artists, I ended up becoming friends with a lot of great artists. And Leroy Virgil from Hellbound Glory, Blake Judd, a great director, Justin Wells, the whole Fifth on the Floor crew. Those are all my newest friends that I really love. Jamey Johnson's been a really good friend for years. Tom Morello, who's been a really tight friend and a mentor for almost 12 years. I'm real lucky to have met some people that are really real in this very fake industry. Alex from Riverdale, Maryland. How did it feel to have George Jones sing on your record? Felt awesome, man. I mean, my family knew him. I knew him as a kid, family friend and everything. So asking him to do it, felt good. I didn't even know if he would do it. He came in and did it. I was just kind of the whole time trying to make it easy for him. He's a legend, so it made me feel very honored and supported to have someone like George Jones on our first record. All right, Jacqueline from New York, New York. Who do you consider among the best of the new Outlaws? That's not the right question for me. I don't like the new Outlaws. Look, I don't like anybody who calls himself an outlaw because I think it's kind of silly, I mean, if I were going to be considered, talk about guys who are breaking the rules, guys like Hank 3 and Bob Wayne and Leroy Virgil and all that, and kind of country music, they're on the edge. But Outlaws, are we really robbing banks here, or are we going in the studio and cutting records? Jennifer from Los Angeles, California. What's the craziest thing a fan has ever done to get close to you? Crawl in a window. One time a girl crawled in the window of the bus. Wouldn't take no for an answer. I think she got stuck, too. That was a little Messy. Tamala from Long Island, New York. When was the last time you had a romantic dinner, and what did you eat? Far too long ago. I think the most romantic dinners I've had have been at home with my family. And just the other day, I kind of had a nice one after Easter, some leftovers. It was nice. But as far as going out on a date, it's been a long time. I would like to do that. Keep trying to make that happen, and these people keep trying to make me work. Bethany from Tulsa, Oklahoma. What do you tell people who try and compare you with your father? You know what? I can't be too angry because I love my dad. He was a great dad, and I'm real proud of the relationship that we had, and I'm real proud of the music he made. And if people want to compare me to him, that's cool. You know I got my own thing. I always did. Albums like Black Ribbons were kind of, for me, made me feel good because I knew that there was no comparison there. But at the same time, I'm super proud of his legacy, and if I'm just a little footnote in his thing, I'm fine with that. Christina from Orlando, Florida. What are some of your musical guilty pleasures? Oh, that's a good question. Now, I like some new wave stuff, industrial music. That wouldn't be guilty though. I dig it. I like that Adele record. Is that a guilty pleasure? I don't know. I thought she's awesome. I love The Bridge. If you ever listen to The Bridge channel on Sirius XM, it's a lot of Kenny Loggins and Cat Stevens and stuff like that. I get down with that. But none of that. I'm not guilty about any of it. Juliana from Brazil. Wow, far away. Hi, Juliana in Brazil. Who, other than your dad, are your musical influences? I am so across the board, but I'd have to say that Trent Reznor is a very big influence on me at a young age, or was a very big influence on me. Because when I was about 14 or 13, I heard The Downward Spiral. Well, actually, I heard Broken, that record first, and it just really did something to me. I thought it was the most aggressive, cool music I'd heard, and then The Downward Spiral came out, and I loved that album. And I was into computers and played piano and keyboard and drums and all that stuff. And I felt like if this guy's doing music all by himself on a computer with stuff, I felt like I could try and do that. So that was kind of what got me doing my own music. But everything from Bowie to the Beatles to Hank Jr. I mean, it's like Hank Sr. Across the board. It's all had an impact on me. And my whole thing is I don't ever really believe that you should shut out one influence for one style of music and the other. So it's like if you can blend all that in one way or another, I'm into that. Monica from Columbus, Georgia. What are some of the best things about working in music around Arizona? Well, I don't spend that much time in Arizona, Monica. My mom lives there. My dad and my mom spend a lot of time there. But I have experienced a lot of great bands from Arizona. I mean, Tucson, birthed the Super Suckers. I think Arizona is an amazing town that has an amazing spirituality about it. There's something in the calmness, the desert, I think that's really cool. I think that there's great music everywhere, so I would definitely say that Arizona, California, New York, Nashville, Texas, never take one for granted, because the next thing you know, one of the best artists in the world will come out of one of those towns. Melanie from Adelaide. I love Australia. Which song in the album will be your next music video? We have finished shooting the video for The Real Me a long time ago. I'm in the middle of editing it. When it gets done, that will be our next video. As for radio single, I'm not sure, but you didn't ask that, so we'll talk about that later. Ashley from Canada. Do you pick out what you wear at your concerts, or does someone hand you your clothes? Have you ever seen one of my concerts? You're in Canada, so likely no. I definitely don't have anyone picking out my clothes. I have a backpack with a lot of dirty t-shirts, one nice shirt that hangs in the closet, and one jacket that's never warm enough. And that is my outfit. And if it weren't for people like Blood is the New Black sending me free t-shirts, I think I might be a little screwed. Danielle from Brazil. Do you ever get nervous before a performance? I always get nervous before a performance. I'm always pacing around, anxious, hoping things go well. I don't think I'll ever lose that, especially when it's a one-shot deal like we did Letterman today. I'm always just like, okay, yeah, one shot. Usually with a whole show, I feel a little confident that by the end of it, we'll win the people over. But with one song, it's a little tough. Shooter, I heard there may be a Waylon Jennings biopic. Is that true? Yes, it is true. And I am working with a producer and a writer at the current moment to make that happen. And I think it's going to be really cool and really original and not like anything else that you've seen when it comes to biopics. Anissa from Hobbs. How has life changed you since the birth of your baby girl? And a boy I have. It has changed me a lot. I mean, that's the standard stock answer. But like when you have a child, it changes how you look at the world, and you're responsible for other people, and you want to leave, as a musician, you want to leave something behind that they can be proud of after you're gone. So for me, I love my kids. They inspire me. uh, I would probably just be a shitty cliche shell of a man if I didn't have that. Kind of am. Stanley from Eagleville, Tennessee. Have you been searching for a musical identity? Your albums have been so very diverse. I always am searching for a musical identity. That never stops. I feel like that stops when you die. You're always building your musical identity. Look at David Bowie. You think if he stopped with the sound of his folk stuff before Space Oddity and then moved on, look at how he's evolved and changed. To me, the diversity is what keeps it interesting. I mean, you guys don't know what I'm going to do next. I like it that way. Let's see. Ima from Amsterdam. It's been 5 years since you've been to Holland. When will you be back? I am hoping really soon. We haven't really had a good situation to get over there and go on a tour, but with Family Man, we're really hoping. And the second record, The Other Life, coming out in September in the U.S. We're really hoping to get over there. Hopefully 2013. Last time our first day of tour started in Amsterdam on 4/20 on a day off. Lynette from Westminster. What do you recommend for voice warm-ups? Scales? Whiskey. John from Atlanta. What's your favorite song on Family Man? Born Again. As I addressed earlier, Born Again is my favorite song. Kyle from Vancouver. Have you ever thought about doing a collaboration with Kid Rock? You know what? He's a nice guy. We've never talked about it. Every time, I know him relatively well. We've hung out a couple times, and honestly, one of the most generous and sweet people I ever met. But we never really discussed it. Would you ever do a tour with Jamey Johnson? I've been trying to, and we're going to make that happen. Jamey and I feel, make a great tour. Maybe take out somebody like Whitey Morgan in the 78s or something. I think it'd be a great tour. Hopefully we'll make that happen in 2012 or 13 too. Jamey's been a good friend for a long time. I consider him somebody that I can look to if I'm in a hard spot, and Jamey's a bad motherfucker. Deborah from Hendersonville. In one word only, describe your life. Shit. No, that's not a good answer, because my life isn't shit. It's more like oh shit. But crazy, I guess. Chris from Delaware. What are the chances of you playing any Stargun music live? Well, Sweet Savannah off Put the O Back in Country was a Stargun song to begin with, so we technically have been. Maybe one day. We've always talked about doing a reunion, but I'm always too worried that I'm not going to be able to save up, to get up that high when I sing. Dustin from Ashland. What happened to the 357s? Why did you part ways with Leroy and Brian? Well, Leroy and I parted ways initially after the release of The Wolf, and I think that just basically came from him needing to do his own thing. Brian and Ted and I stuck together all the way through the Hierophant record, and the only reason that, it was my decision to change and go with a different band for the next couple records, and it was really from a place of feeling like we'd really done a lot of music together, and they understood. We're still tight. It's not a bitter thing, man. I mean, Ted and Brian are still two people that I consider my closest friends and like brothers. And I told them when I started this band, I was going to do something different because I was looking for a different sound, which they understood. But I also said that, it's not the end of what we're going to do. So I would never doubt that would happen again. Kelly from Birmingham, Alabama. What is your worst pet peeve? God, that's a tough question to answer, girl. Worst pet peeve. I don't even know that. I mean, first time in this entire deal I've been stumped with a question. What's my worst pet peeve? I don't know. I try not to be angry about anything. I guess when people are, misinformed and talk out of line, that kind of bums me out, because I see a lot of people talk about all kinds of things they don't really know about. And who knows? I don't know. I don't really have pet peeves. Are there any songs you do at your shows that you'd prefer not to do, but do anyway because it's a crowd favorite? 4th of July? No, I'm just kidding. I dig the 4th of July. I don't. I'm proud of all the music we've done. There were times over the years when we played a lot of the same songs over and over. I mean, with this new band, it's really fresh, and I feel really inspired by it. So, like, it's not one of those things where I feel I have to play anything. I never felt like I had to play anything, but I always give people what they want. We always play some Waylon stuff sometimes. 4th of July always makes it in the set. Going to Carolina usually always makes it in the set. I'm proud of those songs. Lauren from San Leonardo. If you had to choose an actor to play Waylon in a movie, who would it be? I'm not sure, but I like Jeremy Renner and I like Tom Hardy. Jamey from Meridian, Mississippi. What inspires you when you write lyrics? Life. Things that make me happy or things that make me sad, basically. I know that's very broad, but it's usually something that makes me laugh or something that makes me tear up or something. So I guess life really does it for me. Writing comes from experience. So I can't sit down and write a song about something I didn't experience. Some people can, but it's not my stilo. So I mean, for me, it's like I just I have to live through something. It has to affect me, and then I process it, and it comes out some way or another. Or if I'm feeling confused or lost, it's kind of therapeutic. So that's it. 33 questions. Ask anything. Thank you very much. I'm Shooter Jennings. I appreciate you guys submitting these great questions, and thanks for supporting me the whole way with the music and on the web. And I hope to see you guys very soon when we're out on the road. Stick to shooterjennings.com for more information about tour. Love y'all. Peace, sucker.